Good evening, my dear students. Welcome to the science classroom. And as you know, we are studying our third chapter, which is atoms and molecules. Yesterday, I hope that you watched the video which I have sent, and you have watched it and you understand what I said. And we are studying about the smallest particle of a substance, or the smallest particle of a matter. And it all started in the ancient India and Greece, and both of them stated by philosophical studies, if a substance is divided further, it will reach a stage when the substance cannot be divided further. And Indian philosopher called it Paramanu. And till 18th century, what happened? No any experimental study was made, but in the end of 18th century, the scientists Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust, along with other scientists, they have given the laws of laws of chemical combination. They have introduced the laws of chemical combination. Which are the laws of chemical combination? One is law of conservation of mass, and second is law of constant properties. Yesterday we studied with the help of activity law of conservation of mass, and today we are going to study about law of constant proportion. Law of constant proportion. You know what is proportion. So yesterday we studied by what the scientists have contributed. In such a way we are going to continue today also. So we will start with the scientists Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust. First, the scientist Lavoisier. What scientist Lavoisier stated or noted in the law of constant proportion? Along with other scientists, this scientist Lavoisier noted many compounds are composed of two or more elements. Okay, where it is composed of two or more elements, and he also noted such compounds are the same element in the same proportion. That means if a different person is preparing, or from different place we are getting also, the same compound will be having the same element in same proportion. For example, let us take water. If we are taking a 9 gram of water and decomposing it, we will get 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. If the water is taken from anywhere, the proportion will be 1:8. 9 gram of water is taken. The 1 gram will be hydrogen and 8 gram will be oxygen. Okay, and this led to the law of constant proportion. This is what we call proportion, no? So this led to the law of constant proportion or law of definite proportion. Let us study a law of constant proportion. And what is Joseph L. Proust's contribution in this? Let us see what is Joseph L. Proust's contribution. Joseph L. Proust. Joseph L. Proust, the scientist, given one statement. He stated that in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportion by mass. In a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportion by mass. Is it clear? And the next problem, while we are continuing, the Greece and Indians made, the ancient people made the philosophical studies. 18th century, Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust introduced the laws of chemical combination. But the next problem was to give appropriate explanation for this. Whatever they have stated, okay, it was true, but appropriate explanation was not there. So, another scientist or chemist called John Dalton. John Dalton is a British chemist, provided the basic theory. Okay, he provided the basic theory and he introduced a theory called atomic theory. Okay, and he provided a basic theory about the nature of matter. He given a basic theory about the nature of matter. And Dalton picked up the idea of division of matter. He taken the idea of division of matter, as ancient people said, the substance, the matter can be divided like that. He taken that idea, and also taken the word from ancient Greece, the atoms. That word also taken, and he stated that atoms are the smallest particle of matter. He taken the idea of divisibility of matter, and he also named the minute substance of matter as atoms. The theory was based on chemical combination, laws of chemical combination. The theory was based on laws of chemical combination. Dalton's this theory was known as Dalton's atomic theory, and Dalton's atomic theory provided explanation for the law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion, which we are studying now. The law of constant conservation of mass and the law of constant proportion, which are the laws of chemical combination. And the atomic theory was based on the laws of chemical combination. Then let us see the main points of Dalton's atomic theory. According to Dalton, all matter, that is element, compound or mixture, consists of a smaller minute particle called atom. It is having a smaller minute particle called atom. Then let us see which are the main points. All the matters is made of very tiny particle called atom. Atoms are invisible particles which cannot be created or nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atoms are invisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Yesterday we have seen the activity. In that, finally we concluded atoms, the mass cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Here, atoms are invisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Then, atom of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. It is having identical mass. Okay, we can identify the mass and the chemical properties of the atom. Then atoms of different elements have different mass and chemical properties. Atom of different element is having different mass and different chemical properties. Then atom combine in ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. In small whole numbers, atoms are combined to form compounds. Then the relative number and kind of atom are constant in a given compound. The relative number and kind of atom are constant in a given compound. Then let us go to the question section. I'll read the first question. In a reaction, 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate. 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate and 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 gram of ethanoic acid. 6 gram of ethanoic acid. These two are the reactants. These two are the reactants. And let us see which are the products. These two reactants react to give the product. What are the product? Let us see. Product. The products were 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide. Then 0.9 of water. 0.9 gram of water. Then 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate. 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate. Ethanoate. Sodium ethanoate. Okay. We want to show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass. We want to show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of gas. Okay. What is the law? The statement? The law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So, we want to prove that the observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass. Okay, let us have a look. And before the reaction, here is the reactants, the weight of the reactants. The mass of the reactants is the mass of the reactants. We have to check the mass of the reactants before. Mass of reactants. Mass of reactants is 5.3 plus 6 equal to 11.3 gram. See here 11.3 gram. And mass of products. Mass of product 3.1, and it's also 2.2 plus 0.9 plus 8.2 gram. Okay, that is equal to 11.3 gram. Okay, before the reaction, the mass of the reactants were 11.3, and after the reaction, the mass of the product is 11.3. That is, the mass is neither be created or not be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So we have the observation, and it is agreeing the law of conservation of mass. Then let us go to the second question. So the second question, hydrogen and oxygen combine in the ratio of 1/8 by mass to form water. The ratio is 1/8 to form water. We already studied, if 9 gram of water is decomposed, in that 1 gram will be hydrogen and 8 gram will be oxygen. And let us see what is the question. What mass of oxygen gas would be required to react completely with 3 gram of hydrogen gas? Okay, we want to answer what amount of oxygen is required to react. What mass of oxygen is required to react completely with 3 gram of oxygen? How much amount of oxygen is required to react with 3 gram of hydrogen? Here we already know that 9, if we are taking 9 gram of water, in that hydrogen and oxygen are in combination in the ratio or in the proportion of 1:8. That means 1 gram will be hydrogen and 8 gram will be oxygen. Okay, so if the hydrogen is 3, here it is 1 gram of hydrogen, 8 is needed. So for 2, how much it should be? 2, 16 will be needed. Then for 3, add 8 more. Then 3 gram of hydrogen, we need 24 gram of oxygen. Then we are going to the question number 3. Which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory is the result of law of conservation of mass? Which we can take that a strong word as point. Which point of Dalton's atomic theory is the result of the law of conservation of mass? Let us have a check. We are having 5 points. In that, we can say atoms are invisible particles. The second point, atoms are invisible particle which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. That states the law of conservation of mass. Then let us go to the fourth point. Which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory can explain the law of definite proportion? Law of definite proportion. Let us check. Let us check which point says about the proportion here. Let us see. The fifth point says atoms combine in the ratio of small whole number to form compounds. Atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. Okay, this postulate state that the law of definite proportion is explained in Dalton's atomic theory. And this is all we have for today. And my dear students, as I said, little by little, study your part and store it. You are getting a lot of time, so relax and study little by little and achieve your success. Thank you. See you tomorrow.